Okay, good morning 12th class. Today we will study about sorption and their types and even types of adsorption. It is of two types, chemical adsorption and physical adsorption. Now before I'll start with sorption, one important question is there, although it's easy but important question. Okay, that one is simple difference between absorption and adsorption. Okay, so now first of all, what's the difference between absorption and adsorption? Okay, then first thing is, I think you know absorption. जैसे in case of sponge, अगर हम कभी sponge या cotton clothes वगैरह अगर डालते हैं तो generally just see it absorb water. सारा का सारा क्या किया उसने, बल्क तक ले लिया. ओके, तो इन केस ऑफ एब्जॉर्प्शन इट इज़ अ बल्क फिनोमिनन. ओके, एंड इन केस ऑफ एडजॉर्प्शन दैट वन इज़ अ सरफेस फिनोमिनन. मीन्स just see, suppose this one is any substance, those who shows process of absorption. Okay, now in case of this you can take example of calcium chloride. This one will shows process of absorption. Now simple, when water molecules are there, so it absorbs water molecule. Okay, absorb means just see water molecule present inside, bahar वगैरह जितना भी है, just see this one is present. So this process is basically what this one is bulk phenomenon कि पूरा अंदर अंदर तक है. And in case of adsorption, this one is a surface phenomenon. Now suppose this one is your silica gel. This one is silica gel. You know silica gel, it shows process of adsorption because particles remains only at the surface. ये सिर्फ surface पे है. And just because of that, have you seen that example जो एक ad वगैरह भी आता है, that one is in case of paint, narrow lake का paint की बारिश का असर पलट दे and just droplets going back, वो वापस दिखा रहे होते हैं कि मतलब इसमें कोई इफेक्ट नहीं है बिकॉज इन दैट पेंट सिलिका इज प्रेजेंट, जो वाटर क्या है, रिपेलेंट है. ओके, तो वो सिर्फ कहाँ एब्जॉर्ब हो रहा है, सरफेस पे. जस्ट सी नथिंग इज प्रेजेंट इन बल्क. ओके, तो वन इज बल्क फिनोमिनन, वन इज सरफेस फिनोमिनन. नाउ इन केस ऑफ एब्जॉर्प्शन इट अकर्स एट यूनिफॉर्म रेट. यूनिफॉर्म रेट मीन्स वट एवर इज द पार्टिकल्स प्रेजेंट इन हाफ ऑफ द पोर्शन या थोड़ा बहुत है तो सारी जगह कैसा होगा, एक जैसा होगा, यूनिफॉर्म रेट. एंड दिस वन इज just see the okay now, and uniform rate means absorption ka just this one is absorbed and their speed, because when we are talking about rate तो the speed is uniform. जो speed है absorb करने की वो कैसी है, same है throughout, कोई चेंज नहीं है इनके स्पीड में. बट इन केस ऑफ दिस एड्सॉर्प्शन, जस्ट सी द रेट ड्यूरिंग स्टार्टिंग, जब आपकी रिएक्शन हो रही है या जिस वन एड्सॉर्प्शन हो रहा है, ड्यूरिंग दैट वन द स्पीड इज़ फास्ट and after that it becomes slow. Okay, this one just because once all the surface is occupied by particles, okay, your water molecule or whatever is the adsorbate, okay, after that the rate is decreases. Okay, slowly it decreases. Now another thing we have, that is absorption is the phenomenon in which particles of gas or liquid get uniformly distributed throughout the body of the solid. So that point is that uniformly distributed. Uniformly distributed means just see particles are uniformly distributed. कुछ ऐसा नहीं है कि बाहर ज़्यादा है या कम है. Okay, uniformly distributed. But in case of adsorption, just see the concentration of particles is higher at the okay surface only. जैसी सरफेस देन इन द बल्क. बल्क के केस में जो है वो पार्टिकल्स प्रेजेंट नहीं है. ओके, तो दिस वन इज सिंपल डिफरेंस बिटवीन एब्जॉर्प्शन एंड एड्सॉर्प्शन. ओके ओके 12th class. Now this one is important, that topic is sorption. Okay, now actually now you know about absorption, you know about adsorption. Okay, in some cases both absorption and adsorption occur together and are not distinguishable. In such cases where मतलब जैसे in some cases where absorption and adsorption occur together, एक साथ हो रहे हैं, and that one are not distinguishable, तो in such cases the substance gets uniformly distributed into the bulk of the solid, but at the same time its concentration is higher at the surface than in the bulk. Okay, such phenomena are known as sorption. Okay, in which some particles are present in the simple bulk also, but the higher concentration is at the surface. Both the processes are together. Okay, so that one is known as sorption. Okay, so in case of sorption, it is of two type. One is positive adsorption, another one is negative adsorption. Okay, in case of positive adsorption, when the concentration of adsorbate, in case of positive adsorption, when the concentration of adsorbate is more on the surface of adsorbent relative to its concentration in the bulk. Okay, surface पे ज़्यादा है concentration as comparison to the bulk. And in case of negative adsorption, opposite obviously, when the concentration of adsorbate is less on the surface, okay, as comparison to the bulk. Okay, you can take general example for both. Now suppose when concentrated KCl, you know that one is potassium chloride, or whatever is the concentrated solution, when concentrated KCl is shaken with, okay, is shaken with blood charcoal, just see, and that one is blood charcoal. Okay, so it shows which type of adsorption, it shows positive adsorption. Okay, किस टाइप के एड्सॉर्प्शन बना रहा है, पॉजिटिव एड्सॉर्प्शन. ओके, बिकॉज जस्ट सी इन केस ऑफ कंसनट्रेटेड KCl the particles are closely packed, water molecule is present in very less amount, or maybe if highly concentrated तो no water is present. So in that case the adsorption process occur, that one is positive adsorption, क्योंकि surface पे ज़्यादा होते हैं as comparison to bulk. Okay, while in case of, okay, in with a dilute solution, but in case of dilute solution of KCl, it shows negative adsorption. Okay, negative adsorption in case of dilute solution, where the percentage of water is more as comparison to that KCl, so in that case it shows negative adsorption. Okay, even you can take another example also, dyes get adsorbed as well as absorbed in the cotton fabrics. जितने आपके cotton fibers वगैरह होते हैं, तो dye shows both the type of thing, it gets adsorbed as well as absorbed in the cotton fiber. Okay, that one is also example of adsorption. Okay. Okay, 12th class, our next topic is, that is types of adsorption. Okay, in case of types of adsorption, okay, simple, depending upon the nature of forces means which type of forces are present, it's a strong or weak. Depending upon the nature of forces, it is classified into two types. One is physical adsorption, or you can say physisorption, and second one is chemical adsorption or chemisorption. Okay, now this topic is very very important for your board exam point of view. Okay, because मतलब हर दूसरे साल ये क्वेश्चन आता है बोर्ड में, एंड दिस वन इज इम्पॉर्टेंट, एंड इन 3 marks. Simple difference between physical adsorption, chemical adsorption. Okay, maybe on a special criteria or maybe simple difference. Okay, but this one is important. Okay, now then this one two type, physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. So in case of physical adsorption, first I'll explain all the things regarding to physical adsorption. So in case of physical adsorption, when particles of the adsorbate, okay, are held to the surface of adsorbent by physical forces, means अगर weak force of attraction, in case of physical adsorption, weak forces are present between adsorbate and adsorbent. Okay, and weak forces generally we have van der Waals forces. Okay, so weak forces are present, so that type of adsorption is physical adsorption. Okay, now some characteristics of physical adsorption. Okay, on the basis of their force of attraction, you can easily identify their characteristics also. Now first one is, just see, low enthalpy of adsorption. Now because force of attraction is weak, okay, so if force of attraction is weak, so it means their enthalpy of adsorption is also low. Okay, means आपको क्या करना है इस process में, in case of this one low enthalpy of adsorption, because okay, forces between adsorbate and adsorbent molecules are weak, that's why they have low enthalpy. Now second thing is physical adsorption is reversible, so it is reversible process. Okay, reversible process means simple. Okay, if you provide temperature, थोड़ा सा temperature वगैरह provide करेंगे, then you can separate easily adsorbate from adsorbent, means it easily shows the process of desorption. Okay, now third one is there is no specificity. Okay, lack of specificity, you can say lack of specificity. स्पेसिफिसिटी, लैक ऑफ स्पेसिफिसिटी मीन्स कोई भी आके क्या हो सकता है, इसमें आके एड्जॉर्ब हो सकता है. ऑल द गैसेज आर एड्जॉर्ब्ड ऑन all solids to the same extent. Okay, no particular specific solid is required, or specific gases there to adsorbed on the surface of adsorbent. Okay, now next thing is, in case in this one the process is exothermic, therefore physical adsorption occur readily at low temperature and decreases with increase in temperature. As we basically this process again it's a exothermic process, so in this one physical adsorption occur readily at low temperature and decreases with increase in temperature. Okay, and another one we have, that one is it depends upon nature of adsorbate. किस पे डिपेंड करेगा, नेचर ऑफ एड्जॉर्बेट पे भी डिपेंड करेगा. मीन्स यू नो सपोज गैसेज गेट एड्जॉर्ब्ड ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ एड्जॉर्बेंट. तो सिंपल द गैसेज विच आर इजीली लिक्विफाइबल मीन्स थोड़ा सा टेम्परेचर प्रोवाइड किया एंड द गैसेज आर कन्वर्टेड इनटू लिक्विड. तो गैसेज विच आर इजीली लिक्विफाइबल मीन्स हुज क्रिटिकल टेम्परेचर इज हायर, जो इजीली क्या हो रही हैं, लिक्विफाई हो रही हैं, आर एड्जॉर्ब्ड रेडिली. Okay, as comparison to those who have lower critical temperature. Okay, so for example, okay, in case of 1 gram of activated charcoal, okay, the 1 gram of activated charcoal adsorb more SO2, it's a sulfur dioxide, than methane. Why? Because critical temperature of SO2 is 630 Kelvin and in case of methane it is 190 Kelvin. Okay, तो हायर किसका है, SO2 का, तो इट गेट्स एब्जॉर्ब मोर इजीली एज कंपैरिजन टू मीथेन. ओके, तो दिस वन इज रिगार्डिंग टू फिजिकल एड्जॉर्प्शन. नाउ वी हैव केमिकल एड्जॉर्प्शन. तो ऑब्वियसली देयर okay points are opposite in case of chemical adsorption. So in case of chemical adsorption, okay, the force of attraction present between okay adsorbate and adsorbent, that one is chemical forces, chemical bonds are present, means strong forces are present. Okay, so that one is chemical adsorption, and on that basis obviously high enthalpy of adsorption. Okay, in case, because again forces are strong, so their enthalpy of adsorption is also high because it involves chemical bond formation. Okay, now second thing is it is irreversible. Okay, means if because chemical bonds are formed and that one is not easy to break. You know, in case of chemical changes new substances are formed. Okay, so in case if chemical bonds are present, okay, so that one is क्या कहते हैं, it involves formation of compound. Okay, that's why it is irreversible in nature. Now next thing is high specificity. In that case, in case of physical adsorption, low specificity. In this case it's a high specificity. It involves the formation of chemical bonds between the adsorbed molecule and the surface of adsorbent. इसी वजह से ये कैसे होते हैं, they are highly selective in nature. Okay, and next thing is that one is effect of temperature. That is effect of temperature. Okay, now in case of physical adsorption, what's the effect of temperature? Okay, that one is adsorption decreases with rise in temperature. But in case of chemical adsorption, just see, suppose this one is a graph, so it first increases with increase in temperature up to certain this one is it increases with increase in temperature up to a certain extent and then decreases regularly. That one is the effect of temperature. Okay, so this one is the difference and both are very important. Okay, thank you.